Today, we're diving deep, and I mean really deep, into a pivotal moment from the Qur'an, specifically from Surah Maryam, or the chapter of Mary. It's the story of an angel appearing to her in the form of a man. But what if this encounter wasn't physical at all? What if it was something else entirely? Something that suggests our reality is just one small slice of a much bigger, unseen cosmos. Okay, so here's our game plan. We're going to start with the verse itself to set the stage. Then we'll get right into the central question this raises about perception. From there, we'll explore this fascinating idea of different realms of existence, which will help us understand how the angel appeared. Finally, we'll look at what this all means for how we see the world. All right, first things first. Everything we're talking about today spins out of this one specific passage. It's the foundation for centuries of really profound scholarly thought. So picture the scene. Maryam is in total seclusion, she's withdrawn from everyone, and then a spirit is sent to her. But listen very, very carefully to how it's phrased. He represented himself to her as a well-proportioned man. That phrase, represented himself, is the whole key. It doesn't say he became a man. And that distinction right there opens up a massive question. Yeah, that one little phrase, represented himself as, just blows the whole thing wide open. It forces us to step back and ask a really fundamental question about what was actually going on in that moment. So let's really think about this. Was there an actual physical man made of flesh and blood standing in front of her? You know, if you or I had been in that room, would we have seen him too? Or was this a totally different kind of event, something happening in a reality that's completely beyond our normal senses? Now, to even begin to answer that, the commentary we're digging into introduces this really powerful idea that reality isn't just one single thing. You can think of it as having different layers or maybe different frequencies, all existing at once. This model breaks reality down into three main levels. You've got the sensory world, the imaginal world, and the intellectual world. And as you go up the ladder, you're moving from the concrete physical stuff we all know and touch to realms that are purely spiritual and abstract. First up is Alam el-Hiss, the sensory world. This is our home base. It's the world of atoms, gravity, and coffee cups. If you can see it, hear it, or touch it, you're in the Alam el-Hiss. Simple enough, right? Okay, now this is where things get really fascinating. The next level up is Alam al-Mithal, the imaginal world. Now, it is absolutely crucial to understand this is not imaginary like a daydream. The commentary is very clear. This is a real, objective world. It has forms, shapes, dimensions, but it's not made of physical matter. It's like a bridge between the physical and the purely spiritual, a reality you can only perceive with a kind of spiritual sight, not with your physical eyes. And finally, at the very top, you have Alam al-Aql, the intellectual world. This is the highest plane, purely spiritual, with no shape, no form, no material qualities whatsoever. It's the realm of pure ideas, universal truths, and according to this framework, this is the native realm of beings like angels. Okay, so that sets up the big question, right? If an angel's true form is in this high, abstract realm, how in the world does it show up to a human being? Well, the Quran gives us a very specific word for this process, tamathul. So tamathul, it's not a physical transformation. The angel didn't literally change its substance and become a human. That's not what's happening. Instead, it's more like it projected a form, an image of itself, into a realm where it could be perceived. The question is, which realm? Let's really nail down this difference because it's crucial. On one side, you have a physical transformation. Think of water turning into ice. The actual substance changes its state. But with tamathul, it's totally different. The angel's essence, its true nature, stays exactly the same in its high realm. It just projects an image, a representation of itself, down into that middle realm, the Alam al-Mithal, for Maryam to perceive. So, with all that in our back pocket, let's circle all the way back to Maryam and her seclusion. Now that we have this framework of different realities, her vision starts to make a whole lot more sense. This quote from the analysis just brings it all home. The angel's appearance didn't happen in our physical world. The whole encounter took place in the imaginal world, the Alam al-Mithal. And the reason Maryam could see him is that her spiritual state was so pure that it unlocked a kind of perception that goes way beyond our normal five senses. So let's be super clear about what this means. The commentary insists this was a real, objective event. This was not a dream, it was not a hallucination inside her head. Its reality just belonged to a different order, the Alam al-Mathal. She experienced what's called kashf, a spiritual unveiling, that let her see into this other realm. The angel's human form was real and perfect, but it was only visible to her elevated spiritual senses. Anyone else standing in that room would have seen absolutely nothing.
So what? Why does this all matter? What are the bigger takeaways from this really deep philosophical reading of the event?
Well, the takeaway is huge. It's a total game changer. It suggests that things like divine revelation or sacred visions aren't just metaphors or psychological events. They can be direct, real encounters with objective realities that our five senses are just not equipped to pick up. It means the universe is probably a lot more complex, a lot more layered than what we see around us every day.
And that right there is the thought I want to leave you with. This whole analysis suggests our perception is basically tuned to just one channel, the Alam al-Hiss, the sensory world. But if other real, objective worlds, like the Alam al-Mithal, are existing right alongside our own, just on a different frequency, it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What else is truly out there, just beyond the veil of our senses?